just to give you another example of that, when we were having our sit-ins in Nashville, well, actually they were stand-ins at the movie theater. A young white man walked up to one of the African-American girls and said, "I'm gonna put this cigarette out in your face." And her friend was standing behind her and said, "I'll let him burn my hand before he'll burn your face." And the young lady said, "Well, he's not gonna burn my face." And in her soul, she started singing this song. If you'd have been standing right beside her, you wouldn't have heard it. Ain't gonna let no cigarette turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no cigarette turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. He drops the cigarette and walks away. There were several incidents like that. And again, as I say, when we sing, we announce our existence. A change is going to come. Amazing grace. People get ready. I surrender all. Wake up, everybody. That's Carol Melvin in the Blue Notes. Because he lives close to thee. And the one that we did with the group, Blessed Assurance. Now, just the name of a few artists who back in the day, in the 60s, were writing freedom songs. And I think one of the most popular ones was Brother James Brown. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud. Now, that's not just for black folks. Don't get it twisted, as they say. Because we had white students in our group. It was 50-50. And so they said it as well. Because when we said it had nothing to do with color, we were just proud. We were proud. Who else I got here? Marvin Gaye.
Yes.
Man, just think what we would be listening to today if Marvin Gaye was still alive. He was ahead of his time. Nina Simone. Brother Stevie Wonder. Otis Redding. Curtis Mayfield.
Yes.
And let's not forget Pete Seeger, because Pete Seeger was one of those that actually started with We Shall Overcome. And again, We Shall Overcome is sung all over the world. Things are different today. We started out with a 9-year-old who couldn't go in the front door. How does that compare to a woman who had been suffering for 12 years? Well, that 9-year-old, when he got on that bus, was 21 years old. Do the math. 12 years. Before he got on that bus, along with all the students from Nashville, we signed our last wills and testament. Because after we got permission from James Palmer to restart the Freedom Rides, Diane Nash said, "We know that somebody is going to die. But we're not going to let violence overrule nonviolence. If we don't finish this ride, then the enemy will feel very successful. And we don't know when we'll get started again." And as I think about the fact that it took 9 years for that bud to flourish from the age of 9 until I was 21. My mother didn't even know I was on Freedom Ride. She got a phone call the day that I was arrested, May 24th, because a friend of hers was watching the news and they showed me getting off the bus right after John Lewis. in Jackson, Mississippi. My mother gets a phone call. The lady said, "Where's your son?" Well, this time of day, let's see, he had classes this morning, this afternoon, he's over in the student office. He's helping with the Freedom Ride. And he has band rehearsal tonight. No, honey. Your son is in Jackson, Mississippi. He's on the Freedom Ride. I don't know how she did it, but she called the Jackson City Jail, wanted to talk to her baby. They told her that we have 27 people in jail and we cannot let anyone come to the phone. But then she knew to call First Baptist Capitol Hill, the church, to find out about what happened. Because we already had an attorney in Jackson, Mississippi. And that was his job, to call Nashville to let them know that all the students had been arrested and nothing happened. So she was satisfied. The young people of Nashville, for example, a young lady I graduated from high school with, that's in the documentary, simply said, "I won't be home tonight, Mom. I'm going on the Freedom Ride." They didn't stop her. There was another young lady, good friend of mine, was helping her mother. Her mother was working in a white home, rich home, called her and said, "I want you to come out and help me because they're having a party tonight and I need to get this place cleaned up." So the young lady went out and helped her mother, and when she finished, she got on the bus and was coming back into the city. There was a white couple sitting there with a transistor radio listening to the news, and the news said, "More Freedom Riders are coming into Jackson, Mississippi." And the remark that they made was, "They ought to kill them all." This had nothing to do with black folks. It was black and white in parchment. She heard that, and when she got off the bus downtown and then got on her bus to go to her neighborhood, which was near our student office, she immediately went to the office and said, "Are you taking more Freedom Riders?" They said, "Yes." She called her mother and said, "Mom, I'm going on the Freedom Ride." The mother said, "If that's what you think you need to do, then you do that." I'm going to close by simply saying that the Nashville movement was a God-sent movement. God knew who he wanted to make a difference, to stand out front, to be leaders. And I know that when I was 21 years old, just like the woman who stopped bleeding, I was willing to give up my life to make a difference. But I knew that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I also knew that he was wounded for my transgression, bruised for my iniquity. And I will lift him up. I will lift up mine eyes to the hill from whence cometh my help. Because I know that my help comes from the Lord. And I knew that whatever happened to me, that God is my refuge and my strength. A very presence in the time of need. And there were some times of need. And I just know, and I say to you today, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continuously be in my mouth. I was thinking the other day, I don't think about age. And a friend of mine called me, they were messing around talking about age. And I said how old I will be in 2 years. And it really surprised me. It did. The man that's standing before you, and I've got to tell this, when she was pregnant, I asked her, when is the baby due? She said, well, let me back up. At Gordon, there are 2 people at Gordon whose birthday is on the same day. That's my birthday, and a little lady stands about like that. And we refer to each other as twins. We're not related, but we refer to each other as twins. And so when I asked, you remember when I asked you when the baby was due? She said March the 10th. And my first reaction was, oh, we're going to have triplets. She thought that I meant that she was going to have triplets. But what I meant was there would be 3 of us at Gordon with the same birthday. But of course, my girl came a little bit early, but that's all right. Where was I? I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall continuously be in my mouth. I guess it's in my mouth because it says, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh Lord, our God, how excellent is thy name. This is the word of God for the people of God.